despite the hustle and bustle of the busy city here, the peregrine falcon is very much at home here on this church in Bath, as it would be on a cliff face or quarry in the middle of the countryside. I've come to investigate what effects the nesting peregrines are having on the congregation of St John's. Let's take a closer look. Just behind me on the ground here, we've got a water rail, we've got various different winter thrushes, we've got a tillhead down here. But what's really, really interesting is this head here. This is from a woodcock, a woodland wading bird, and it's most likely migrated to the West Country from somewhere such as Russia, where at the moment it's incredibly cold and the woodcock can't really probe in the ground to feed on worms. As they fly into the UK, they're migrating at night, but as they fly over cities such as Bath, the light from street lamps lights them up and they become visible to the peregrine falcon, who very quickly catches them and makes short work of them. So just what impact is this all having? Join me later, we're going to be speaking to Father Tom to find out. I've been given the challenge of trying to find as many fruits and berries as I possibly can, because at this time of the year, on a cold winter's day, birds and mammals are doing exactly the same. So, arm with my tree books, let's go! Okay, so berry number one. Down here we've got some rose hips, berries which are loved by birds such as waxwings, which will come to the UK for the winter. My challenge continues further along the gorge. Well, here we've got berry number two. This is ivy. Now these ones here are actually still quite green, but over the next number of months these will actually turn black and be ideal food for birds such as blackcaps and blackbirds. Excellent, I found it. This is berry number three over here. This is what we've been looking for in the Avon Gorge. This is the white beam tree. Now the berries are not looking particularly red, actually a bit blackish. I think all the good ones have been eaten or already dropped off. Now the white beam gets its name because the leaves during the summertime have lovely silvery white hairs, which when it's windy look white, hence the name white beam. So we've found three sets of berries. We've had the rose hips, the ivy and the white beams. So that's pretty much mission accomplished. I've come to lend a hand at the bird ringing station at Chew Valley Lake. Just what is involved with the ringing and tracking of birds? So the first thing to do is actually try and age this blackbird, and I've got to look for any contrast in the wing that there might be, particularly on these feathers here called the greater coverts, and they all seem to be the same uniform colour. The other thing also is to look for the shape of the tail, and if it was a younger bird, these ends of the tail feathers, the tips would be quite pointed, but actually on this female bird they're actually quite rounded and flat. So this would suggest that this is an adult bird, and we score this a 4, so this would be a 4 female, and she would have molted earlier in the year, so we say that she's got a new plumage. So this is going to be a 4 female and new. The next step is to look at how much fat and muscle this bird's got. Fat's really important with keeping the birds warm at night and giving them enough energy. So to do this, we have to very unceremoniously blow at her chest feathers to see just how much fat she's got. She's got lots of fat there around her kind of breast muscle and also around her abdomen as well, which means she's got a lot of fat to keep her nice and warm and keep her going throughout the day and also the night. We had temperatures of down to -6 degrees Celsius here overnight, so she's going to need to keep herself very warm over the next day or so. So she's all weighed and measured now and ready to go, so we just put her through this little exit box here and she's straight off back out into the countryside. Now, just up here on St John's Church, we've got the peregrine falcon. This one's the male, slightly more than the female. He's just at the base of the spire up there, and he's brought in a feral pigeon, and he's just feeding on that. So, I'm going to get some good views looking at the peregrine falcon now. Just as I was admiring the peregrine, Father Tom came out to explain a bit more about the impact it's having. Well, Father Tom, obviously you oversee St John's Church here in Bath. How does it feel? What is it like to have the peregrines here in Bath?
Well, you're not conscious of them for a lot of the time, except maybe in the summer you hear the calling, this high-pitched squawk they have, where it's not really a sort of song as such, is it? But and then of course the birds around the place, the dead birds, I should say, that they've dropped or they've just decapitated or whatever. You sometimes see the heads lying around the place.
Well, we've got him up there just at the moment. He's just up there feeding on a pigeon. It looks as though the peregrines and the churchgoers will get along just fine. Let's hope the pigeons don't get their feathers in too much of a ruffle at the thought of being the falcon's next meal.